Officially, I've never been documented as a criminal, but I've always felt that I was seen as a criminal being an African American male. Throughout society, I just felt like I was looked down upon, or felt like people would cross the street because I was on one side of the street or whatnot. So I always felt that way.
I mean, I agree with him. You know, growing up as a black man in the community, you know, people already have a stigma towards you. So, being so, you're automatically labeled as a criminal. You know, you have to work your way from that point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I felt like growing up, me doing a lot of after-school programs and playing sports that always kept me out of the streets and in my head focused going forward. So.
I personally disagree with that. You know, I know a lot of people who haven't had those type of opportunities, but they still haven't been in the criminal aspect, you know what I mean?
What makes you think they stay out of that criminal aspect?
Honestly, I feel like it's just a person's job to not want to get in trouble, you know, want to stay on the right path and want to, you know, differentiate themselves from their surroundings.
But with that being said, though, like, even with sports and stuff like that, that keeps kids from having the opportunity to get in trouble. If you're at practice every afternoon, then you're not out robbing, stealing, drinking, stuff like that. So, I mean, that keeps you out of trouble.
I mean, that's true. But
I mean, honestly, I feel like our society says it all where you can't. Like, there's people out there who've been to jail one time and they can't get the jobs that they may once have gotten. They can't vote because they just can't.
it's just society, basically. Like, you can't come out of that.
So you think society does more damage labeling a person as being criminal than it helps?
Yes.
Of course, like, I just feel like once you go to jail, you already have that bullseye on your back that you are a criminal. Even walking down the street, people know that you're a criminal. They just automatically count you out. Well, I don't really think the judicial system does a great job with it, and the fact that I don't want to use this example, but in most time, veterans, when they come from war, they have programs to get veterans back on their feet to get jobs, but they don't have that for criminals. Like, when criminals get out of jail, they're basically on their own. So.
With that question, honestly, I feel like it just depends on the person, because you can't say just because you're giving him parole, halfway house, things like that, that he's going to change and want to change. You know, it really all depends on the person if they want to change. Personally, I wouldn't say it changes how I approach them. You know, I believe that everybody deserves a second chance. Being so, just because one person did one bad thing at one time in their life shouldn't put a judgment or, you know, how they should be and how you should treat them. You know, everybody has a chance to change, so why not allow them to change?
I mean, I agree with that to a certain extent. When it comes to certain crimes like murder and like rape, stuff like that, I agree everybody does deserve a second chance, but I'm going to always look at those people a little bit differently. Because sex offenders, they have to come to my house and let me know that they moved in down the street, and I'm going to feel a different way towards them. So, I mean, that's just...
I mean, I would agree with that. Honestly, like you said, you know, it depends on the situation. As far as murderers, you know, you have some people who have, like, manslaughter and things like that, you know. It's not intentional. It happens. Everything happens in the world for a reason. So...
Oh, go ahead.
So is it a fear thing, or is it just you're going to look at them differently type thing?
I don't think it's necessarily a fear, but I just think that it's in my subconscious mind, I'm going to be like, oh, well, my neighbor, maybe he got convicted for murder, so I'm going to watch myself a little bit better. But, I mean, I'm not going to judge them any different, but in the back of my head, I'm going to think like, oh, they've been a criminal before, so let me watch myself. So
I mean, that makes sense. It makes sense.